Okay, so in 98, you get transferred to Mule Creek.
Correct.
And then in 2000, you get parole after serving about 7.5 years.
Correct.
How did it feel when you actually heard you got a date?
I remember it was like still 99, right? So it was probably like October, November, December 99. And so by this time I had been clean. Like I haven't been getting into any trouble. I haven't been getting any write-ups. So every 90 days, if you're clean, they would give you some time back that you lost. So I would get like updates. I'm seeing my time drop from like 2002 to 2001 to 2000. And, by this time I basically earned all the credit back that I'd lost. And so they finally gave me a date of March 25th, 2000. Honestly, I was really hoping to get out before 2000, but obviously I got a date, March 25th, 2000. That was the best it was gonna get. And man, I was super happy.
Okay, and you actually walked out in 2000?
I walked out March 25th, 2000.
How did it feel to actually walk out of that cell? Because at that point, most of your 20s was spent in a cage.
Yeah. So my sister sent me a care package. So they give you dress outs, like you could wear some fresh clothes and walk out, you know what I mean? So that was my first time putting on some nice clothes in, almost 8 years. And so you go to receiving and releasing R&R, you change, and basically you just wait a little bit. At that point, they just walk you out, cut you loose. And I remember walking out the gates, and my sisters, they were waiting across the street for me in a car. And, they were waiting for me, and I like threw my hands in the air, and I was just like, man, thank God I'm out of here.
Well, all this happened after you left, but there were a series of ceasefires between Norteños and Sureños in prison. In 2004, which is 4 years after you left, I guess there was a ceasefire ministry, a Christian anti-gang program that tried to get Norteños and Sureños to have a truce. That lasted for some amount of time. 2019, there's another truce. In 2023, there's another truce, which I believe is just in the prisons, but not outside. Were you familiar with any of these truces as they were happening, although you were out at this point?
I mean, I have friends that I did time with that were maybe kept more in touch with people to kind of keep tabs on what was going on. So yeah, I mean, obviously over the years, there's been a lot of changes. I mean, at this stage right now, where we're at, as brown people, as raza, there's a lot of other stuff going on in this country that we need to be more concerned about. And I do hope one day that the raza can just basically do better and take care of each other and not be at each other's throats, because there's a lot of other stuff to worry about right now.
Okay, so now you're on the outside, you're an ex-felon, you're a dropout, so you don't have any sort of gang activities going on at all. Are you running into other gang members during this time, or have you totally separated yourself from this
Completely
world?
separated myself, and I never looked back. My whole thing was getting my life together. I was 27 years old now. My whole thing was getting my life together and becoming successful at something.
Right, so you start getting regular jobs. First, you start handing out flyers.
Correct.
Then you start getting some, cold calling jobs, call center type jobs. And slowly, you're kind of building up. You worked at 24-Hour Fitness.
Correct.
At one point.
Correct.
And then you kind of start getting into finance.
Right.
And that actually led up to you actually becoming a branch manager at a Town and Country Credit, exactly, which is like a credit union?
No, it was a mortgage bank.
Mortgage bank.
Mortgage bank.
Okay. And at that point, you were managing like 20 loan officers,
Correct.
3 processors, and you're actually making real money.
Yeah, I was doing good, man. I was out now probably about 3 years, about 2003. We had a nice fat office right there in South City, Oyster Point Boulevard, right on the water. I had this amazing office looking at the bay. I was wearing a suit and tie. I bought my first Mercedes. I was making good money. And I got promoted really quick. I was managing a team. I was like, man, life is perfect. But I was still on parole. So my parole agent, I would have to check in with them, or they would come to my place and check in with me like, every month. They see me dressed in a certain way. My parole agent saw that I had a nice car, and he was like, how'd you get that car? Working, I'm working hard. It's what I do. And he's like, well, what do you do? And I do loans. I manage this branch. We're doing a lot of loans. And they're like, you're not supposed to be working in a place like that. Because of your background, obviously you have access to a lot of people's personal information, social security numbers, credit cards. You know, we're going to give you 1 month to either resign or tell your boss about your background. So they gave me that ultimatum that I had to basically tell on myself or resign. And so at that point, I was just barely building my career in the mortgage game, in the finance world. And so I told my district manager, her name was Keisla Kobar, I'll never forget her, because she gave me an opportunity. I told her I had to talk to her. I literally went to go visit her, and I resigned. I quit my job because my parole agent made me.